Does the idea of getting your bongos berated by 14 burly black men sound appealing to you? If your answer is yes, then you're probably a bottom, and there's no shame in that. But if you're on the opposite spectrum of the bongo beating act, and you yourself likes to honk some horn squaggles, then you may be a top. So now that I just fixed your identity crisis, there's one more question to be asked. Which Overwatch heroes would be considered an alpha top, and which would be a beta bottom feeder? Let's start off with someone who could only be placed with the latter half. First up is Zenyatta. Now the thing is with Zenyatta is his character's personality is just too nice, and usually nice people don't have the confidence of taking control. Like Zenyatta's just too innocent to be on the top bunk, if you know what I mean. So he's a definite bottom. Next up is Moira. Now as you all know, Moira's a master at sucking, and she loves draining the life out of people. And I feel like if you were to get in a room with her and start engaging in the non-November activities, there's nothing you could really do to convince her to get on the bottom rack. So I'd say she's definitely a top. Next up is Mercy. Now Mercy's an angel, right? She's pure and she's just too innocent, meaning she's obviously gonna be a bottom. The only way she would ever be defined as a top is if she was in girl boss mode. Next up is Lucia. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give him bottom because anybody who plays loud ass music in public, like over a speaker, are the most annoying motherfuckers on the planet. So this dude definitely likes taking it in every single hole he has. Next up is Lifeweaver. Before I rank him, go ahead and take a quick glimpse at this man. Who is going to be superior to this man, and who would this dude ever submit to? Okay, there's one person that he would, but we'll get to them later. Lifeweaver is an easy top, because who the fuck is gonna tower over this man, and who the fuck would not want to get plowed by him? Next up is Kiriko. Now this one's gonna be quick, but I'm gonna put her at bottom, simply because this is the conclusion that I've come to after doing hours and hours of research, and the tapes don't lie, so this is probably the most accurate ranking by far. Next up is Juno. Now Juno would probably be a bottom, because she could definitely give that galactic gawk gawk, and usually that's a sign of bottom behavior. But I can also see her being a top, because with patty cakes like that, she can pretty much mind control anybody she wants. And she's a fucking alien, so you don't know what she did on other planets. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place her in top. Next up is Iari. Now you guys have told me that Iari's pretty much a terrorist and wiped out an entire fucking village. So I don't know about you, but that's definitely some top behavior. Because if you ever tried to fuck with her, she would probably just drop Sar Bomba on your ass. You can take that in two ways. Next up is Brig. And I'm like 99% sure that Brig is a professional boxer. And I feel like boxing is more of like a, I hate to keep using this word because it's kind of cringe to be honest, but I feel like boxing's more of an alpha activity. So Brig would most likely be a top simply because whenever she wanted to, she could just rock your shit. So you better follow her orders. Next up is Baptiste. Now I've been thinking about this for about 5 minutes and I'm fucking on the fence. I mean, I wish I was fucking on the fence, but you know what? No, that's gay. I think it would depend on the day on what Baptiste decides to be, because I get mixed vibes from this man. He's got the build of a top, but I can also picture him giving top. So I think I'm just gonna put him in bottom. Next up is Ana. Now since Ana's an old geriatric fart, she doesn't exactly have time to fuck around when it comes to fucking around. And she was also like a general, right? Like she led wars and shit. So she would definitely be giving the orders in this situation. Meaning she's our biggest top by far. Next up is Widow. Now she's French, right? And I don't know if you've ever met a French person, but they are the most aggressive, commanding people on the fucking planet. And their accents automatically make them more noticeable in every single room that they're in. Meaning they feel like the main characters. And from the cinema that I've seen, the main character is usually the top. So that's where she's gone. And next up is Venture. Tracer. Now I don't see Tracer doing anything too wild, because from her character she's too innocent of a soul and she's very focused on saving people, meaning she's so tired out of constantly having to save people 24/7 that she would most likely just want the receiving end of the Red Rager. So I'm gonna give her a bottom. Next up is Torbjorn. Now if you keep up with the story of Overwatch, you would know that Torbjorn has like 40 canonical children, meaning this dude fucks and he fucks on the daily, and that is supreme top behavior. Next up is Symmetra. Now due to Symmetra's engineering skills, I reckon she would build a massive metal meat pole that she could peg her victims with. And the reason I say victims is because Symmetra gives me clinically insane vibes. Like, to be honest, she would probably be a perfect match for Sigma, so she would be a forceful top. Next up is Sombra. Now since Sombra's a hacker, she could just hack anything in the world to get exactly what she wants, meaning she could probably hack into somebody's mind and make them do whatever she pleases. And I know a lot of you motherfuckers would enjoy that. And plus I heard she can hack Tua on that thing. Holy fuck, dude. Where has my life taken me? Sombra's going in top. Next up is Soldier. Now, Soldier's a veteran in the field, right? He fought wars, meaning he's got a major dose of main character syndrome. So he can do whatever the hell he wants. And he's not gonna let his guard down for anybody. So he's definitely a top. Next up is Sojourn. When your thighs are thicker than your skull, it is not physically possible for you to be bossed around. Because you could just put somebody's skull between your thighs and crush them like a hydraulic press. So she's getting a top. And if she asked, I would give her top. Next up is Reaper. Now don't let this man's intimidating looks deceive you. Because although Reaper looks like a badass that murders people for fun, he definitely enjoys taking it in the chocolate starfish. So Reaper would be like a secret bottom. I'm just the only person that can see through him. Next up is Farah. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give her top because that's exactly where she would be during Smexy time. She would bring you hundreds of feet in the air just to staple your cheeks to your outer thighs and drop you anus first straight onto the tip of Mount Everest. So Farah is literally a top. And on the complete opposite spectrum, we got Mei. Now similar to Zenyatta, Mei is just way too nice of a person to want to take charge in a sexual encounter. She has the personality of every shy girl in a horror movie that's nervous about having sex for the first time. Mei is just too nice of a woman to take control. That joke didn't even make any fucking sense. She's going in bottom. Next up is Junkrat, and I'm gonna give him bottom because he's a virgin. Next up is Hanzo. Now Hanzo's a pretty introverted fellow, right? But he's also a badass, and women and men alike tend to love mysterious men for some reason. And Hanzo gives me the vibes that he keeps a lot of secrets. So I think people would be all over that. And I'm also gonna give him top because he's my main. And you know, our character traits swap over. Next up is Genji. Okay, I don't know about you, but when I watched that cinematic for the first time, where Genji was running on the roof and then deflected that robot's giant ass fire strike, I got the fucking tingles in my taint. Genji has too much aura. This man would have any lady marinating their britches just off of a singular glance. So that is definitely alpha top behavior. Next up is Echo. Now I don't want this to sound mean, but I get slight mentally inefficient vibes from Echo. And just based off of observing, those lovely people usually aren't the most engaged beings. And she would also submit to Cassidy any day of the fucking week. So I'm gonna go ahead and give her a bottom. Speak of the devil, next up is Cassidy. And I'm gonna go ahead and put him in top, but I already know there's gonna be a lot of people that disagree. And I'm not sure why, because let me inform you real quick, we're not going off of those devious ass pictures you find on the internet of Cassidy, where he's getting pegged in the ass by every male character in the game. I don't know why the gay community is obsessed with putting things in Cassidy's asshole, but if we're being realistic, there's only a 10% chance that he actually enjoys that. So I'm gonna take the 90% chance that he's a top and keep him right there. Next up is Bastion, and I'm gonna give him bot. Oh, I'm so fucking hilarious. How do I have 25,000 subscribers? Speaking of subscribers, a few of you beautiful beings may have noticed that all the shorts on my channel just magically disappeared. And that was intentional. I made a new channel called Tickle Bungus where I'm going to be posting all my shorts, new and old, and I'm going to make that channel my designated shorts channel. So if your attention span's the size of a hollowed out walnut, go ahead and take a visit to the Tickle Bungus channel and drop that shit a succulent subscription. Next up is Ash. Now Ash is just a female version of Cassidy. She's obviously going to be a top just like Cassidy because she shares pretty much the same exact traits as him other than her chromosomes. The only way she wouldn't be a top is if she was with Cassidy. She's the Cassid cream, if you will. So yeah, top. Next up is Zarya. Definite top. Although I do feel bad for her partners because if Zarya was on top of them, they're probably not going to live for that much longer because what she thinks would be light messing around with somebody, maybe a little bit of, you know, slapping or whatever, would probably just slap the skin right off of their faces. So although she's a top, I think she might be too much of a top to where people would not even want to experiment with it. Next up is Hammond. You know what's funny? Hammond's guinea penis is probably considered micro even in hamster terms. I know this dude isn't packing, so he'd probably be enjoying the packing from somebody else. So he's a definite bottom hamster. Next up is Winton. Now Winton's a very kind soul, but unlike the other kind souls we talked about earlier, I think Winton would still probably be a top. He would be a gentle top though. Well, you know, unless he was in rage form. Next up is Sigma. Now I'm not joking when I say this. I wholeheartedly believe that Sigma is a virgin. Because who's fucking this guy? No sane person is gonna want to mash pissers with Sigma. Because that's just too much of a risk to their health. He could open up a black hole and suck your ass into that before you could even get your wiener out of your pants. But I guess if he were to ever find another psych ward patient as fucked up as him, he would probably be the one to take charge. So I guess I'll give him top for that. Next up is Bubba. Now since Bubba's the actual Sigma of Overwatch, and he's the alpha of every single being in the Overwatch universe, he is the biggest top in this list by far. far. But real quick, I need to talk to y'all about something. Everyone's arguing about the election, right? Which is bound to happen because no matter who wins, somebody's always going to be pissed off. But the thing that really pricks my private parts is that the single best candidate in US history didn't get a singular vote in the 2024 election. I need you guys to do me a favor next term. Vote Bubba for the United States President 2028. And if that happens, maybe I'll finally care about politics. Next up is Reinhardt. Now, from past experience, I've come to realize that people that are super cocky aren't actually the same person behind closed doors. And Reinhardt's a cocky motherfucker. And I think he's too cocky to be the dominant person in a relationship. Matter of fact, I guarantee that cockiness comes from him taking so much cock. So Reinhardt's a definite bottom with glory. Next up is Ramatra. Now I'm gonna give him top because he's easily the most attractive robot in the entire universe. You think Megan Fox from that one movie was the hottest robot? No. Ramatra's got that bitch beat by a mile. Ram could walk up to any singular Omnic and tap seemingly endless robotussy. So this is the easiest ranking by far. Next up is Orisa. Next up is Mauga. And honestly, Mauga's probably a bottom. You know, just because somebody has muscles doesn't mean they're an instant top. That's what muscle mommies are for. So yeah, I'm gonna give Mauga a bottom. But speaking of muscle mommies, next up we got Junkerqueef. And I know I just said muscles don't always define being a top, but everyone already knows JQ ain't a damn bottom. She's a warrior. She'll probably kill you if you look at her the wrong way. She's not submitting to anybody. So yeah, she's obviously a top. Next up is Groomfist. And just like JQ, Doomfist is obviously a top. Doomfist is the alpha male. Nobody is topping him unless he asks them to. Bro, imagine Doomfist fisting you. Lastly, we got Diva. Now Diva's a very happy character. She lives her secluded life with her boyfriend out in the middle of the ocean, gaming 24/7, while the only time she puts her gaming controller down is to go save the world. And just like most gamers, I reckon Diva's a bottom, because chances are if you game as much as Diva does, there's a 9 out of 11 chance that you like taking it right in the ass. Just like me. And that's my list. Let me know what your thoughts were in the comments, and if you don't have any thoughts, still comment. That way I can get that free succulent engagement. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Love you, Schnookies, and oh yeah, I got one more thing. Do you